Hi, friends. Here is how I see myself practicing resurrection. Um, I tend to face challenges, um, hard times, life, reality, pretty head on. Um, I tell my friends often, you can count on me in a crisis. Um, and as I reflect on that during this Easter season, um, I've always been that way. I I can I've had to deal with some hard things in my life. Um, so when I heard Bishop Cole mention uh, the phrase "practice resurrection," the first thing that came to my mind was not the resurrection of Jesus, but something called a resurrection fern. I'm sitting below a painting that my mother um, created a week after Hurricane Katrina. That picture of that oak tree, and if you look up, and I'm going to zoom up here, there is up, not that, but right above it is resurrection fern. If you grew up in a sort of tropical area in the southeast, you should know what resurrection fern is. If you didn't, you probably never heard of it. Resurrection fern is an air plant. It's an epiphyte, which means it attaches itself to other plants and gets its nutrients from the air and from water and nutrients that collect on the outer surface of bark. It's mostly found on cypress trees and oak trees. This oak tree, a live oak tree, can't even imagine how old it is. I can't get my arms around even half of this tree, so it must be hundreds of years old. This tree obviously meant a lot to my mother if it's one of the first things she created out of the experience of losing she didn't even know what she lost because nobody knew. Kind of like we are now. We don't quite know what's going to happen. So out of a period of great uncertainty, she pulled from her memories this tree in great detail. We had a lot of memories under this tree created. Meals, picnics, pictures, gardening. It's a source of strength. My grandfather, as a young man, would climb this oak tree to the very top to look out over the Gulf of Mexico, the Sound, the Mississippi Sound, out to the Barrier Islands, 11 miles out in the Gulf, to see what the weather was like, to see if that was a good day to sail. He built his own sailboats and sailed a lot and won a lot of races. But my grandfather, as a very young boy, had polio, and they didn't know if he would live. He was isolated in a contraption for months. So that oak tree and that resurrection fern means a lot to me and my family. So it's my family tree. It has the saints of my family wrapped up in it. Resurrection fern comes to life, can look dead and dry and withered up, but one drop of water, just one drop of water, the fronds unfold, and within 24 hours, it's a vivid green plant. And it has been studied that a resurrection fern can go without water for 100 years and be revived with just a drop of water. And I think that for me, is a great symbol in this time of perseverance, of God's love, of our love for each other across time and space, helping one another in whatever way we can, be it helping with the fish pantry, reaching out to each other by phone or by Zoom, keeping one another in our prayer life. And I hope that you will be able to do those things in this time. I love y'all. Peace.